Hello, Jonty. Thank you for giving us time and welcome to the new Indraneel talk show. So I have asked 10 questions on surfing. I was streamer. So it's the other way now.
I like the ratio.
So just one question, and that would be about the World Cup that's coming. So, who would be your favorite team, or what do you think about India as a whole? That's it.
Well, I think India have already shown as a host that they're very unhospitable. They brought everyone and they kept the trophy. With South Africa, I was with my last World Cup. We hosted the World Cup and we said, take it, we'll go. Come to South Africa, but take it. Australia took the World Cup. We didn't keep it. India hosted 2011. They kept the cups. They kept the cup. You got to learn to leave it, man. So I think when it comes to having a World Cup, cricket World Cup in India, it is unbelievable. Just the atmosphere in the stadiums, it is like nothing anywhere else in the world. So I think anybody, please, everybody, come visit, because it's going to be incredible. Its atmospheres in the stadiums. Because for too long throughout the pandemic, even the IPL, they saw it. The crowds came down, huge support. We hadn't had cricket in India for so long. Big matches like this. So I think from that point of view, India are incredible hosts when it comes to hosting a World Cup, because the facilities have been improved amazingly. And hopefully this time they're not going to be holding the trophy too tightly. They'll let other people have a chance. But when it comes to saying which team has, as you look at England have lots of experience. They are a side that in white ball cricket, they're not too sure whether it's red ball or white ball. They're still being very aggressive. They've got players who've done well at the IPL, so they're not on T20 or 50 over, but they're not unfamiliar with conditions in India. They're not intimidated. And South Africa, obviously, I'm a South African cricket player. I love the team, but I've been in 4 World Cups and not once to be winning. We didn't get to the final, so you have a full goal. There's something happening. We were caught chokers for a very long time. This team doesn't have that issue because they haven't yet got to the stage where people said, "Oh, you see, you typical South Africa, you've now thrown it away." So I think India always strong. They haven't had great results up until now, but the one problem I have with India, not a problem, is that India's strength is often their weakness, is they have so many talented players. They give so many people an opportunity, which they have to with this. You watch the performances and you think, how can you leave this player out of a World Cup squad? So often, it's the teams that build that consistency, allow the players to play and perform the roles in other things. And because when it comes to World Cup, there's obviously added pressure. So if you're not comfortable or clear in your roles, then it's very difficult, which is why England always, I think, are going to be strong favourites. They have senior players, not many players under the age of 30, I think, in the World Cup squad, just being announced recently. So many senior players who spend time in India, who spend time together, collectively doing a job within the team. And that's important. You can't have your best player, now you're saying, okay, you bat number 3 today, or you bat number 6 tomorrow. These players must, to be confident, must have played in those situations. So, I hate trying to predict a winner because they really are a strong side. Pakistan, they have very strong bowling, they've got great batters as well. You never know though on the day that they've been up and down, hot and cold. So they're a dangerous team. When they get to situations where suddenly it's knockout, they bring their A games. They really are a tough side to beat. Sri Lanka are players who've always excited and entertained. They changed the way 50 over cricket was played in the 96 World Cup, but it saw them going through with Jayasuriya and Kalu, blitzing at the top of the order. So they've shown that they're a dangerous side. They know how to win. As I said, South Africa, I would like to have. It's quite hard to believe. I was about to say the West Indies and not there. You can't even believe me. Can you believe it? Yeah. There's a 50 over World Cup and there's no West Indies team. That blows my mind. Which just shows on the day anybody can win.
Yeah, because I was talking to some. I ever told I used to cover Olympics code, so I even talking to other players from the Caribbean, from different sport. Basically, so what happens is they are attracted to baseball, basketball, maybe. Then you can run, sure.
Which has changed, and I think
is it the same thing in South Africa?
No, South Africa, we have, I think about 65 to 70% of the population is Black African population in South Africa, and I think football has always been the predominant sport from a viewership point of view. But structurally, I think cricket had a very strong infrastructure for a long time and was well respected. But now rugby, because they've won 3 World Cups, they're now a very strong team. They have a Black African captain. Cricket has the same Temba Bavuma. So we certainly have prominence, or we have lots of following in cricket. But I think the rugby has now become the number 2 sport because of the success of the rugby team. And I think, we've seen it with Anyway. People love to support winners. We've just seen the Women's Football World Cup and how they supported Australia. I mean, what an incredible run. And I think now we have the Women's IPL and the strong following of the Indian women's team because they've been successful. And success breeds success. And people, the fans, they want to see winners and they want to see people playing good cricket on the field. And I think that's why, in the Caribbean for a long time it was very strong. But now the American sports, and even football, even soccer, they certainly, the islands are much stronger because the lure of success, the IPL, CPL, many of the leagues you can go play in around the world. The West Indians are well respected T20 area of cricket, but T20 cricket. But, the infrastructure is not there to bring those young players together. So I think from that point of view, it's sad to see, but for a long time the West Indian cricket had just relied on natural ability and occasionally a very strong captain that's held the team together. And without that, I think with the lack of infrastructure, the lack of administration or cohesiveness, because they are, I don't know how many different countries. It was like India trying to bring 50 states to, I don't know, 50 states got together. Yeah, exactly. So you're now playing under one flag, and it's the only sport in the Caribbean that does that. And as you rightly said, the other islands, each country has a much stronger cohesiveness than the West Indies cricket team right now.
Look, South Africa, they have not just the cricket of the body, they can go in other sport like athletics and then swimming, some of the sport. So that development is it what you call a city based on overall development that
how we is supporting South Africa. We play most of our sport we play at school. And in term 1, so January, February, March, we play cricket. And then term 2, so cricket and swimming in the summer. And then term 2, it's winter sports, and we play either rugby or football or the field hockey. And then we have athletics in the 3rd term, athletics and tennis. And then the 4th term again, we have swimming and cricket. So kids have to play all the sports. So it's not like it's just developed in one of the cities or one of the states. Everyone around the country is exposed. And unfortunately, still many, even though since democracy in 1994, you still have very large disadvantaged communities where they're not paid this anything. So in the school structure, many young Black African, especially children, are missing out that opportunity because they don't have good strategies to improve their, their natural ability. So I think from that point of view, there are no, when you can't say Cape Town uses the rugby players and Johannesburg it uses the football players, Durban.
What's your strong way?
So there's a great university in High Performance Center. There's also the sports science in Cape Town. So that was the sports science was sort of the first real high performance center in South Africa where the national team would go and train. But with regards to athletics, the Potchefstroom University has incredible facilities. We've stayed there as a cricket team when South Africa be playing one day internationals in Potchefstroom. And there's always been athletes from all around the world. There's few hockey facilities, so it caters for everybody. And I think South Africa's a bit like that. We and I think it's to our detriment. We don't specialize in one thing. We really like to be a bit more all-rounded with regards to the sport, and allow people in every region to participate in whatever they're strong in.
Thank you, Jonty, for giving us time.
Thank you for watching.
Yes.